And welcome everybody. This is just really a post-launch review. I've had this game obviously before it was launched. Full disclosure, I didn't get this for free. I paid for it like everybody else. I did get it a little cheaper, I must admit, because obviously I went to CD Keys, who had a great deal on at the time. So for those of you who are paying full price for games, I would suggest you start to check, Instant Game and CD Keys. I'm not sort of linked to any of those guys either, but it's definitely worthwhile investigating. So what do I think right now about this game? It's had a bit of a mixed response. For me personally, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. And, it's definitely, for me personally, it's a lot better than Cities Skylines, the original. But it has got a lot more to go. Now, for me, like I said, I've been enjoying it and I would recommend this game to anybody. But with a caveat is make sure you have a reasonable size PC to be able to run it effectively. And also there is some bugs and there's some glitches and there's some missing features as well, I think. So you may also have to accept the fact that some of the things are going to be added in the future, hopefully in free updates, but mainly probably in DLCs. So I'm happy with that, but it may not be for everybody, so think on that. So we talked about specs. So what exactly are the specs here? So they're quite high, actually. So, anything from, 8 gig to 16 gig, but to be fair, I got, I think 32 would be a normal these days. But yeah, recommended is an RTX 3080. So what am I playing it on? Well, actually, I'm just a little under in my spec. It is what it is. But I've still not had it that much. But, I've got an i7 CPU, and I have got a 3080 video card, but it's the laptop version, so it's a little shy. So that's what drags me a little under. And also, I am recording, so I've got the screen size set to 1920 by 1080, and I'm also running in windowed mode, which has an effect, and I'm also running OBS alongside it. But it has had a lot of mixed responses, which has been due to the performance and spawned a lot of complaints and, really is quite a bit of review bombing, but like I said, some amusing ones like this one, for example, because apparently even the teeth are supposedly modelled, which actually slows the game down. I'm sure things will move along soon, and they are working. Some patches have already come out and definitely made an impact. But let's talk about the settings. So if we look what I'm running here right now, I'm running some sort of checks on it. Now, I've got my GPU usage up here and CPU, RAM usage, and obviously the FPS. But also note that this is a simulator, so it doesn't need a great lot of FPS. So there's a lot of talk about FPS. The game is 30 FPS, or it will be guaranteed 30 FPS, because that's all you really need. And in some shots, especially now, we will sort of get down. Look at it now. I'm pretty much down on FPS as it gets busier on the ground, and obviously the more denser your population. I think I'm on about 20,000 sims right now. It's going to get worse, but I've been sort of bouncing along. I don't really check this a lot, to be fair. I more or less look at lag and and stutters, and the game doesn't stutter that much. Did a little bit on from launch, but after a couple of patches that's been improved. So They've still got work to do on it, so I think that will be improved. And I'm roughly looking around 90% on my GPU sort of utilization, which, to be fair, is pretty normal for this GPU. So it doesn't really, CPU usage is quite good. I mean, I'm on an i7 11800H, which I think is 11th or 12th gen. But I mean, yeah, it's not too bad. Sometimes it can get a bit laggy if we're getting really into the detail. I mean, like now we're sort of struggling here with FPS itself, but again, it doesn't really affect my gameplay. That's why I don't really watch it. I only look to see if there's a bit of a weird dog trapped in here as well, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's not too bad. I find it very, playable. Would I have more problems if I had it in 4K, etc.? Well, yeah, probably. I've only got it at 1080p, but that's because a lot of it because of the recording sort of things. It's just easy to set the same sort of settings as I intend to put up here on YouTube. So. But like I said, it's a sim. It's a simulation. It doesn't require a lot of graphical, popping. To be fair, it's not like a first-person shooter. So yeah, I've really not really been affected by it too much. But a lot of people have. So it may be wise if you decide to have a go. To make sure your rig is playable and perhaps get if you buy it from Steam, you can obviously look to get some sort of, return within 2 hours if it just doesn't work. But for me, like I said, it sort of runs okay. I'm quite happy with it. But, your mileage might vary, and it all depends on what you sort of look at it. How you look, whether you're a stats person. If you're a stats person, there's probably not going to be up to par, at least at this point. But for me, I just look at playability. Can I play it, and does it look all right? And I think it looks fantastic. But then again, that's my personal sort of review and comment. So. Like you can see on the screen there, I'm not really moving along on the main stats, and I'm average around plus 30%. Oh, sorry, 30 FPS. I mean, you can get really close to the Sims, and I'll just get out this bridge a little. There you go. And 45. That's not too bad. To be fair, I mean, what more do you want? So I don't get stuck with FPS too much unless I'm playing a first-person shooter or something that requires, quicker response. This just doesn't. It's a simulator, So yeah, I mean, like, full disclosure, you can see everything what's going on here. Like I said, there's the FPS will be a bit lower because it's windowed, and I've got OBS running in the background as well, so some resources are being taken away there. But it's still good, and we got a fire burning here. We can hear the one thing, as well, some of the animation is missing. If you notice, there's no firemen running about here. I'm hoping that gets added in, so we do. I think there is a lot of animation to be added into the game, and I think they probably kept that out just to save on the performance. But now I'd like to leave you just on some sort of like night footage, and yeah, if you like the game, give it a try. Like I said, just keep an eye on those specs. Hope this helps you out, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.